Good morning. Dennis McMahon here from Factory2Key. Here to talk to you builders about some opportunities that we're putting together for you, particularly in regional Australia, but also in cities as well. Let me just talk you through the process we put together for our builder partnerships. Let me bring this up. All right. Okay, so what I'm here today to talk to you about is our Factory2Key Builder Partner Program. Focus on regional Australia, but not exclusively. But let me just talk you through what we're doing and why we're doing it. So regional building in Australia is getting harder. Weather disruptions. Now, I'm in North Queensland in Townsville at the moment, and the wet season can wipe out solid work for anything up to 10 or 15 weeks a year. Traditional builds get slowed down every single day. Trade shortages, as you know, we all know the trade shortage issue. If you can get them, you've got to pay top dollar for them, and they can walk out and leave you in the lurch anytime they like because the demand is so high. This is a problem that's facing every builder, not just in Australia, but around the world in developed countries, and it's just as bad here. Because the competition for labour is so strong. It's not just the housing industry, but infrastructure, mining, defence, governments are paying, and large private contractors are also paying top dollar, and you need to compete with that as well. So that makes it harder for you. There's a huge demand for key worker housing crisis in Australia. Governments and councils just can't get teachers, nurses and police. There's nowhere for them to live, much less the private sector, where businesses in regional Australia want to add more people, put more employees on, but there's no accommodation for them. So they need to build more. But how? Because builders like you are already doing what you can do with what you've got. So, and the more regional you get, the harder it is to be a builder, or particularly if you're looking for one, to even find one. So some of the areas that are driving that demand, of course, as I said, the key worker accommodation, medical, hospitals, schools, all need to attract essential staff and just cannot house them. The resource sector, mining, all the large infrastructure projects all need housing for the large workforces that they employ. Again, that just drives demand up everywhere, but means that if houses can't get built, then you've got shortages all over the place, which is great for you if you have a way of delivering for that service. Tourism hospitality is growing immensely. At the same time, accommodation is a problem. How are they going to get more accommodation for the visitors? And of course, as we know, Australia is an ageing population, so aged care expansion, retirement villages, regional populations all ageing, and housing just can't keep up. And we've got, of course, the agricultural industries, seasonal workers, farm managers, all the processing facilities. Again, it all just adds up to huge demand, and it's never going to get built by traditional stick builds. We're firm believers that modular, off-site, and prefabrication is the way to go. We build a network of both Australian and offshore manufacturers to supply. What we're looking for now is builder partners, on the ground, licensed builders who've got a great business, but you can read the writing on the wall and see that you're going to have to make some changes to your business going forward. And we're asking you to swap over. We want you to keep building the custom builds you do for your premium clients. But this opportunity provides our partners with the chance to have more builds, faster builds, using a modular or a prefab approach. And we'll talk about some more detail about that as we go through. Now, the first cab off the rank from our side is what we call the Joey 60. It's a compact house, 60 square metres, great for things like granny flats and secondary dwellings, but can be used as a primary dwelling as well. But ideal for all the uses we spoke about: key worker accommodation, tourism housing, even rental investment for investors. And certainly adds a lot of value when you're looking at aged care and retirement units, because you can get these things up so fast that you can do a whole complex in a short, a space of time you can't even imagine with traditional stick builds. And these are all 1A certified, NCC compliant buildings, signed off at all levels, from surveyors, certifieds, engineers, electricians, plumbers. We have, as I said, a range of manufacturers, both in Australia and offshore, that can supply certified buildings, and we pick the right one for your job. But pretty much this the Joey 60, their kickoff point. We have got larger units with more modules, for example, 70 square metres, 150 square metres to 30 square metres. But at the moment, with the builder partners, we're focused on the simplest one, the 60 square metre Joey. Now, we've got some builders already coming on board. We've got a couple in Tasmania, and we'll talk about how the regional side of things works. But they're coming on board because they're not getting out of their traditional stick builds. They're adding this on as a second string for these reasons. Completion time's 50% faster. They can get more homes done in a year. There's less on-site labour, so they're keeping their premium trades, if you like, for their custom builds, but they're able to get more done because most of the trade work is pre-done in the factory. Lower labour costs across the board because you don't, again, need to have that high skill level of trades to do the work, and because you can get them in, from order to completion in 4 months, and that's with about 3 or 4 weeks on site. The rest of the time it's just waiting for them to be done in the factory. So you're talking about, say, 3 or 4 weeks for each one. You could run them concurrently. You could have a whole range of things going on. You could do a complex of them. That's up to you, and we'll talk you through how that can work. But basically, while you're doing the site prep for one, getting the foundations done, and the other work needs to happen for the service connections, the factories are doing the building, and they just come together on site and get installed very, very quickly. So this is a bit more of a summary about why the difference between traditional and modular. It's a timeline thing. Weather exposure, you don't have to have a slowdown or a day off because it's raining, because by the time the module gets there, you can just stand it up with a crane and you're good to go for all the internal work. You've got less reliability on the trades. Quality control is high because we can maintain factory standards at a very consistent level. Transport risk, there's one delivery and crane. Book it, get it done, job finished. And of course, cost predictability, you haven't got that issue of material price changes over an 18 months to 2 year build. Fixed factory pricing, you know what you're going to get and you know how much you're going to pay for it. So there's two options. One is a flat pack option and one is a volumetric. Now, what that means is one flat pack means it comes in a container and then you take the components out. They're flat packed, and then you install them and erect them, and then do the fit off. Or prefab or volumetric modular is where it comes as a single unit, comes on the truck, gets picked up by a crane, placed on the foundations or footings, and all you're doing then is doing a service connection. So your speed on site is just enormously faster than any other way. So how does it work with our partner relationships? Well, you're the builder. You're the license builder. You own the client relationship. You handle approvals and compliance, but we can also discuss that with you. We can handle that for you as well. You manage all the site works. You deliver and complete the project, and it's your name on the build. What do? We provide the factory coordination, the supply, logistics and sequencing, handle the system documentation. We have Checkpoint, which is our project management system, so you have full visibility all the way through as to what's going on, what's next, and all of your costs are contained within the fixed price that we set. Give you an example, the Joey 60 comes out as a fully installed unit for $299,750, with including GST. Now, part of that $299,750 is your component, is the builder. It's your labour to install it, and it's also your builder's margin within that as well. So that would come out to somewhere around about $250, $260 at your end, and the rest is yours. But because we want to incentivize some partner builders to come on fairly quickly, we're actually offering a tiered rebate program. So for the first 5 units that you order and the order's confirmed, you get $5,000 rebate on each of those. So it's $25,000 rebate for the first 5, and then $10,000 per unit rebate on the unit 6 to 10. So that what we're looking for from you is to have, say, 10 to 20 of these units in your region that you sell and build every year. But for the first 3 to come on, first 3 builders per region, we're offering this tiered rebate system to give you some incentive to really get out there and sign up some great clients, get some orders moving. And once you get this on a roll, you'll find that it'll be easier and easier just to plan ahead for it and get the job done. And of course, we can work to your timeline. If you're finishing a custom build, and you need to have your guys continue the work for another 2-3 weeks to finish off, we can put back the delivery dates, which means that you can always have great work for your guys at the same time getting most efficiency out of the work you've got. So how's this going to work? So when I say regional, 3 builders per region, that could be like, I'll take Townsville for example. anywhere within 200 kilometres of Townsville, we'll call that a region. So three Townsville builders, 3 Wollongong builders, 3 Albury builders. We'll have discussions around how the best way to do that is, but what we want to do is make sure that there's only 3 in your area, so there's plenty of work for everybody. You're not getting swamped with anybody who's out there cutting prices just to win jobs. You're going to have that control, because we want to have fewer builders with stronger pricing power. So that's what we're offering to you, and we'll talk about how that can work once we have our conversation. And of course, as a further incentive, the first 3 builders who qualify with 3 confirmed bookings across Australia will also get a factory immersion tour. So this is, for example, if we're building offshore, you'll get return flights, accommodation, full factory walkthrough, assembly training, all the QA engineering briefing that you'll need to make sure that you're comfortable with the certification and compliance process. And that certification and compliance is Australian surveyors, certifiers, engineers, electricians, plumbers, all the processes to make sure that when it lands in Australia, it lands on your site, it's going to be fully certified and fully compliant. Now, the Checkpoint Project Management System is what we've built to make sure that you've got full visibility all the way through. Everything from procurement, delivery, all the milestones, cost visibility, fewer surprises, because better control means cleaner delivery. So the benefits in summary again for the first builders to come on board. If you come on board as a builder partner with us at Factory2Key, what you'll get is, once you confirm three client bookings, you'll get the factory trip or expenses paid with those bookings. You'll also get the tiered rebates, as I said, of 5,000 for the first 5 and 10,000 for the next 5, which gives you a rebate of 75,000 over the 10. And we think that's enough to get people thinking hard about joining us. We also offer full marketing support, full training on our website. You'll be listed as a regional partner of ours. So any of the pass-throughs we get from clients looking for our builds will come to you. And why does it work for regional Australia? Well, less trade dependence, single coordinated delivery. It's just faster. You obviously mitigate the risk of weather delays. You have predictable costs and margins, and it gives you a competitive edge in your region as well. We think that regional builders need smarter systems, not just harder work. So I'll give you an example. Here's how the regions could work. There'll be more of these, but for example, Queensland could have Townsville and Central Queensland as 2 regions. There'll be more, but that gives you a sense of what the size of the regions will be. The same with all the other states. Tasmania, we've got 2 builders in at the moment, so there's probably 1 more builder for Tasmania. But New South Wales, Victoria, for example, have a number of builders, but again, non-competing regions. You're exclusive within your region, you and a maximum of 2 others, because we want to make sure that you maintain good margins, and that you get the benefit of the faster build systems and the modular control and quality, but without having to compete on a race to the bottom on price. So how to get involved? First of all, you register interest, and that's send me an email, send me a WhatsApp, send me a message, give me a call. Book on the next page. You'll see my Calendly calendar. Make a booking to have a chat. We'll talk you through the whole process. You'll understand where we're coming from. We'll understand whether you're a good fit, and then we'll take the next step. Because we think that the more regional you get, the harder building becomes. There's a huge demand, as I mentioned before, but in reality, it's so difficult for those who need the buildings to get the buildings they need with builders doing traditional stick builds. The only way forward, and you can see this from some of the state government programs, they're only promoting for regional housing, modular and prefab. That's all they're doing. So the demand is there. We think it's time to ride the wave. We're not asking you, as I said, to stop doing what you're doing. This is an extra service that you can provide, extra type of building type that you can provide. But have a chat with us. Let us understand whether you're in the right space for this. We'll understand. You'll know whether you want to work with us, and we'll know whether we want to work with you. So make contact. Let's see how we go. And here's my contacts. My phone number's there. You can make a booking on my Calendly calendar for a chat. However you want to reach out, visit the Factory2Key website, have a look at what we've got there as well. But certainly at the moment, it's a great time to be thinking about modular, and we'd love to have a conversation with you and see if we can't come on board to each other. Thank you. So that wraps up the presentation. As I said, I'm Dennis from Factory2Key. Me and my partner, Uwe Jacobs, are very keen to have conversation with lots of builders. We've got demand even for our own projects out there that we need builders for. So, it's starting to roll. We'd love to have a conversation and see whether we can get on board with you. Thank you.